Okay, I don't know exactly what to do, but welcome to the first live stream on this channel. I don't really do weather stuff on other channels, but this will be the one time you'll see me do it here. As this is the first one, this will be interesting to see. Alright, I think we're ready. I got the thing on my computer.
Alright.
My live streaming up.
Great.
YouTube's live streaming is now telling me to check my video resolution, which I will not do because I don't care.
Nobody does.
Okay, yeah. So this will be the first stream I've done in 2020, except for the one previously on the 6th where there's a lot of severe weather going on. I got new stuff going on. Someone has sent me this thing that says Key West issued an aviation weather warning. I've never seen that before, but whoever sent me that, very interesting. I'm gonna send you the link on it.
Well, there's an airport a little bit to the east of Key West. And
yeah. So Key West, Key West airport is here. You can see the highway. Now, I don't think...
Yeah, Highway 1.
Let me see, what can I do about this? Oh, wait for it. What can I do about this?
Bearing down on Key West, it's about to make a pass at the Naval Air Station. That's probably that aviation warning you're getting.
Can I ask Windows why you haven't decided to make like a whiteboard screen so I can like draw on this on my actual monitor? Like Windows Ink Workspace, you have full screen snip, you have all sorts of stuff. Let me pull that up for a second. I don't think they have like an actual like system, but actually like the previous Windows version, but we'll figure that out eventually. So if you look on my screen, you can see the current radar, and actually let me just let me share it here. Now if you look closely, you'll be able to see it's forming sort of like a bow. Now that's never a good thing. Let me pull up the base velocity here. Now can't really get a good view on this, so honestly, if you look on radar, it's not easy to see exactly what the rotation is. There is a slight rotation with this storm, especially around like the center of this warning. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, just west of this warning, right where you see this little yellow icon here. Yellow indicates a medium, sort of echo, bow, whatever you want to call it. Now, it's you can obviously tell that the straight line wind gusts for this will be very intriguing, because if you look on the radar, This normally indicates a very interesting straight-line wind gust risk. Now, with this storm, there's a lot of lightning. You want to have a go?
There's no doubt about it.
You want to have a go? Oh, oops.
Oh, you want me to say a few things?
Feel free to jump in.
Okay, well, if you're just joining us, we welcome you to a live YouTube coverage of the South Florida severe weather event. Just in case you didn't see my Instagram live, Florida, including places like Miami and even as far north as Fort Lauderdale, are under the standard slight risk with a less serious marginal risk further north. But it looks like the way this is playing out as we speak with this mesoscale convective system, it looks like the main threat concerning severe weather at this present moment looks to be Miami, the Everglades National Park, Key West, the Key West Airport, and well, maybe Miami Point South. The way this is playing out, this MCS is looking to have a mostly eastward component. It has a little bit of the northward component, but I think it's moving further east. And within this area right here with this MCS, you could see some damaging straight line wind gusts, maybe a brief spin up tornado, but it looks like at this present moment now, this looks like your mesoscale convective system is going to have just straight line wind gusts. That's why I feel the Storm Prediction Center made the right call in issuing a severe thunderstorm watch, because it looks like the main clear and present danger looks to be straight line winds. I don't know if we can give Key West an all clear just yet.
It's right over. Like if I click on the other radar here, Key West is in the direct center. That is I think. Key West is actually in. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but someone told me that they're in an aerial flood advisory. Let me see if I can confirm that, or if I can deny it. Now, no, that's correct. Portions of Miami actually has issued a flood advisory. Pardon me for a second. Now, if you are actually intrigued, you can look on this. This is the current hazard list. You can see it's very hard to differ between the severe thunderstorm warning and the special rain warnings. I only know that the warning stretches mainly over, just barely over the southwestern tip of Florida. Now that's always an intriguing area because these warnings, these special marine warnings, do include the Florida Keys, but they don't necessarily have any severe thunderstorm warnings. But that does not get out of the question that there are severe wind gusts possible with these storms. Now, obviously, we can't give them the all clear until all these storms just seem to get out of here, because Key West is not out of this yet. There's still some very heavy rain on the back end of this. Miami, I'm gonna take a look at the radar. The storms are just entering the severe weather zone. Now, this does have a tornado possible tag on it, which is always interesting to see. So that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking out the velocity, and so far, it kind of confirms what I feel is going on over Key West and the Naval Air Station. It looks like, judging from the storm relative velocity products, it looks like this is playing out to be more of a straight line wind event than a tornado event so far. It's interesting that that severe thunderstorm warning has a tornado possible tag.
Oh, Miami just continued this.
Oh.
With severe thunderstorm warning has been continued. Wind of 70 miles per hour. It's up in the 60. There's still a tornado possible. I'll tag on that. It's continued. Now, here's the intriguing thing. This is one of the first severe thunderstorm warnings of the day, and this was actually issued at 9:57 p.m. So, and it expressed at 11:15. So, thinking about this severe thunderstorm warning is more than an hour long, which is actually a very rare occurrence, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know. I normally so Sterling has always said that the severe thunderstorm warnings are typically like short fused stuff, like only like less than
Sure.
but this is one of the first times I've actually seen it be more than an hour long, which is intriguing to me. But nevertheless, even though these are long warnings and it covers such a long distance and how like the warning is like big, it's always best to trust the warning. Don't don't assume you're out of clear yet. There's always a back end of it. Then this might be one more round. Not saying there is, but sometimes with a lot of these severe weather threats you see, there's sometimes more than one round. Now, here's a little bit of intriguing details for those of you who do look at super res velocity. The straight line wind gusts are actually interesting because it's showing the gusts are strong. Like these are some pretty strong gusts. Like they're not as like defined as a tornado, but they do have what we like to call as strong as tornado winds, but they're not tornadoes. Now, straight line winds can be as or more dangerous than tornadoes because they're very strong. They come at little notice, which is interesting. So, the straight line wind gusts for these storms, they may occur in certain spots. They may cause power outages, blown over palm trees. Yeah, that's the first I've ever said that. Blown over palm trees. Just kidding. Those palm trees can withstand anything. Not saying they haven't been able to, but palm trees are pretty strong. But otherwise, you might see some power outages, some local ones. Now, talking about the hail threats, this isn't much of a hail risk as much as this is a wind risk. So yeah. Okay. So I pulled up this slight risk today. So my internet loads. Let's see, category L, it's strong. No, so 5% tornado risk, 15% wind risk, and 0% hail risk. Now that's not saying there's no hail, but yeah. We're not saying there's no hail, but it might be small. Back to here. Hail, but we're not saying there's no hail, but it might be small. Alright. I hate this chair. I need an actual gaming chair. Not saying I need one, but yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna say this now, but Miami issued a marine warning, and they're saying on the bottom that the wind is 49 knots, and they say here, the wind gusts nearly to 50 knots. I don't know what they were going for there.
So, wow, that MCS is heading right over the Key West radome.
Yeah, so areas that are directly being impacted: Summerland Key, Big Pine Key, Cujo Key is just barely pushing out of it. This isn't over. Besides the keys, this is just not severe. But once you go onto mainlands, it's not over the actual land yet. See, this white line here is actually the land border. It's barely over it right now. Which is probably why this warning is so long fused.
Okay. Alright, so we are coming up on my computer 10:20. We are watching special marine warnings and a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Monroe and Collier counties in Florida because of a mesoscale convective system in the process of brushing the Keys and southern portions of Florida. And right now, they said the hazard looks to be 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So, if I were in your position, I would take this as if it's a warning and go to a safe place. Small room, center, away from windows, with a helmet on. All right? This does include the Everglade National Park, so if you live anywhere near the park, we need you to be sheltered. That's US Highway 1 running from Miami to the Keys. And of course, we would deeply recommend, between the special marine warnings and the fact that it's dark outside, nobody should be traveling on Highway 1 between Miami and Key West. Now, interesting to note, John, even though we do have the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado, the main threat looks to be damaging wind gusts. Also, this would be yet another challenging night for the storm chasers because this is a nighttime event, and this time of night, whenever storm chasers have to chase this at night, they have to rely on lightning to illuminate the sky features. So it's going to be tough if they're looking for that show.
Yeah, that actually is a really good treatment there. But what I'm looking at, actually, this is interesting. What I'm looking at on the lightning feed on RadarScope on a specific plugin I have, there is a significant amount of lightning strikes. Cloud ground lightning is definitely occurring with the storm. Now, it's surprising that you'll actually hear me say lightning in a storm when the last few severe weather events we've had at home here, closer to me, they said that there's no lightning. It's weird. Storms can happen with or without lightning. Now, in this case, it is happening with this storm, which is very interesting, and obviously a thing to just keep an eye on.
Okay. We are continuing to watch to see if they're going to extend any warnings or watches further to the east. It's interesting. This is another one of those situations where it's a part of a big, huge, complex storm system. It was actually snowing earlier today in parts of Winston-Salem, Hickory, Charlotte, North Carolina. Because of the above average ground temperatures, the accumulation obviously was confined to grassy and elevated surfaces. But that was very interesting. I'm sure some people were excited because we haven't got much snow this season yet. We were always on the warm end of the spectrum, so to speak. But nevertheless, this is another one of those interesting storm system complexes. Of course, we're continuing to keep an eye on that MCS. It is coming pretty close to making landfall to southern Florida if it hasn't done so
So
already.
I don't really want to interrupt you on this, but I don't interrupt with significant weather advisories. But this significant weather advisory is bad news. Let me put it up on screen here. Significant weather advisory for Miami-Dade County. This is the Miami area. At 10:21, Doppler radar was tracking strong and severe thunderstorms along a line. Nickel-sized hail, wind gusts up to 50 to 70 miles per hour present with these storms. Now, this is the interesting part. Present indications are that warnings may become needed for the Miami-Dade area within the next hour. Then it continues on the bottom, saying that these storms may intensify, torrential rainfall will occur, frequent clouds of ground lightning is occurring with these storms. This activity was also developing in an environment favorable for the formation of funnel clouds. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio and local media for additional updates and possible warnings. That is That is a very interesting text product.
That is an interesting text product. They really went into detail. It looks like they believe that the more favorable conditions look to be towards Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Of course, with it being nighttime, we wouldn't recommend any traveling on US Highway 1, pretty much anywhere in southern Florida. Of course, they're concerned about maybe the comma end. At least I think that's like a comma end. Didn't look as organized as it did earlier, but still, straight line winds look to be a very real possibility for the Keys. And maybe they're watching that top end of that MCS, MCV, or it might be heading on shore. But of course, the Everglades National Park needs to be sheltered. Even as far north as the Everglades City needs to be in a safe place for this severe thunderstorm warning. We're eventually going to have to get places like Key Largo, Homestead, and Miami sheltered. Maybe even places as far north as Fort Lauderdale sheltered.
I had been to
warning.
Fort Lauderdale before. It's actually a populated area, and I know that for a fact because I stayed in Fort Lauderdale before, and it is a very populated area. So, if Fort Lauderdale were to be in a warning or close to a warning, I would say that the people there really should monitor these storms because this is a very interesting line of storms because it appears like it's a bow, but at the same time, I'm lost for words here. The velocity is showing an echo as well, which is interesting to see.
Okay. I can pop on the velocity on my iPad. Okay. I don't see anything. The Key West one. Let me switch to Miami. Let's see. I don't see, unless you're seeing it on your product, I don't see a clear-cut area of rotation.
My apologies
You may want to check.
My apologies for randomly disappearing. I had some stuff to do.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, if you're just joining us, this is John in TV on John's Weather Channel.
Yep.
On YouTube.
Now, my original channel is John18001. I'm actually doing it on this channel because A, it's more of an actual weather place.
Mm-hmm.
I typically put this on my old channel because that's where all my odd YouTube videos are, like my weather radio stuff and my gaming stuff I put on this channel, but The Weather Channel, I strive to put stuff that people would actually find interesting. Like, I only have 3 videos on my Weather Channel, my actual Weather Channel.
Okay.
Yeah, I have fog, rain, and this stream right now. I also had like snowing. Those are the only 3 things I had, and yeah, I don't really post a lot of stuff there unless like interesting stuff happens. Now I'm gonna take a second and slightly say a brief warning that almost the center of this the center of this warning, slight rotation indicated right over the coast. It's not a tornado, but as
Okay.
we all know, there is a water spout possible. Now, water spouts are I don't want to say more common than tornadoes because I'll probably be wrong, but you never know. Water spouts are actually really interesting weather phenomena.
Yeah.
I was loud. Jeez, let me turn that down. There you go, much better. Sorry about your eardrums, by the way.
Okay.
Oops.
Yeah. Considering the way you spell your name, they're probably going to think you're yelling at Garfield or something. Nonetheless.
Really?
I'm putting you on a strict diet.
This marine warning was issued for 11 forecast zones. That is a lot. Not even Sterling issues them for that many. I can't say any more than that, holy crap.
I see you're using Gibson Range Level 3. It looks like you're getting some shear markers.
These little... Yeah, these NMDs, yellow. Typically, I see warning issued around orange or red.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like the top.
Let me just indicate that this warning is weird. So they start with strong thunderstorms, and then listen to the end of this. Radar indicated a possible water spout in the vicinity of Wood Walls East Crack, or 25 miles southeast of Key West. That's interesting. Okay. A water spout is a tornado over water that can be dangerous and even deadly. Small craft can be swamped or overturned by a water spout. Stay away from them at all times. Yes. Yes. Oh, I can actually type in these warnings. Obviously, the best course of action is not to go on near them. Much better. Oh my gosh.
His mischievous.
Actually save. Okay. No, it doesn't save. But that is really funny. Let me just that. No one likes that. No one cares about this. Let's just remove that. Hold on. Did Miami just issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Miami-Dade County 10 minutes after the significant weather advisory? Yes. Yes, they did. Now, let me ask a question. Where the heck is this warning for? Because this storm isn't halfway through the warning. Probably up here somewhere. Let me read this warning. For those of you who like warnings, you'll like what I'm gonna say. Oopsie. This is just your basic one. They didn't put anything special in the precautionary actions, but the only thing they did send is a torrential rainfall notice, which is never good. Now this area includes the most western area of Miami-Dade County. This does include parts of the interstates. No, wait, no it doesn't. Oh, wait, does it? No, it doesn't. It includes just up to the Florida Peninsula line, not the Florida Keys, just north of it. This may require an extension, also known as a new warning in the Miami metro area, which, if it is issued, it will be best of interest to seek shelter. No one likes severe weather, do we? Let me actually see it as a NOAA weather radio stream I can listen to. Hold on. Stand by for a second. Turn this quickly to see if I actually can get the alerts. Florida, Miami. There it is.
Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Oh wait, that's a
Listening area.
that's a forecast experimental. KHB 34. Okay, KHB 34. Ah, dang it. Listen now. No, it's not.
Alright. Alright, if you're just joining us, this is John and TV. We're doing coverage of possibility of severe weather unfolding in parts of southern Florida. We are watching a mesoscale convective vortex or mesoscale convective system. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Brushing Keys and the southern tip of the Florida Peninsula. The call to action is everybody in the Everglades National Park, everybody in the Keys, Whitewater Bay, needs to be in a safe place, maybe even as far north as Everglades. It doesn't extend all the way to downtown Everglades. Some of you may have the Everglades mailing address that needs to be sheltered. Also, maybe even as far north as people that live near the Big Cypress National Preserve. That is just for the severe thunderstorm
We
warning
have got
that is
possible.
on the road.
We have possible tornado rotation in the storm that's currently under the cooler mainland Moreau. As you can see on my screen, you can see the circle here. On my phone, I'm looking at the super rose velocity. It's looking like they may issue a tornado warning. I don't think they will. I mean, there's a chance for a brief tornado, but given recent events, the probability is not as high as you'd think it would be, but there is a possibility of a tornado warning. Not saying there will be, not saying there won't be, but it all depends on radar data or what the next cycle will say. We'll have to find out.
Okay. And of course, as John said earlier, they have extended it further to the east. We'll have to see if it'll eventually get to places like Miami and Homestead.
Mesoscale discussion number 71. Oh boy.
Yeah, Miami-Dade County. Okay.
Oh. Ironically, I was right about this. It was a bow. I was right. So this will impact the Miami area between 11 p.m. and midnight, which is actually a very short time. I don't think I'll be streaming that long, but, you know. You can see this bow. You can see the bow taking shape now. You can see how it's just curved. Miami has just issued a tornado warning for mainland Monroe in Florida. Then once again, this is a tornado warning for
And I just got the notification on my phone, so...
Oh boy!
Let's go to the... Calm down, John. Let's go to the polygon.
I'm just gonna say, but you know
see-
what I was saying earlier about that small rotation in the middle of that storm? Well, it is exactly where that rotation was.
Alright. So, let's look at the polygon. And you know what James Spann always says, don't you, John? He says, respect the polygon.
Oh my gosh! This is a weirdly shaped one. It looks like the bloody state of Michigan. Am I right? Like, I don't want to discriminate against Michigan people, but that's no. I'm sorry. It looks more like Wisconsin. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. It looks more like Wisconsin. Oops. Doesn't this soul polygon sort of look like Wisconsin, sorta, if you look at it right? Doesn't it, like, you know? You know. Look at this polygon. We're gonna respect the polygons and just say that these tornadic storms will remain over mainly rural areas of central mainland Monroe County. Respect the polygon, my good sir. Respect the polygon.
But anyway, it does look like it's over mostly rural areas because it's not giving me any cities on this tweet. But this does include the Everglades National Park. So,
Oh boy.
the Everglades National Park, you need to be in a safe place, wearing a helmet, hard sole shoes, carrying a portable air horn on hand. Small room, lowest floor.
Wait, hold on a second. I just got the same tweet twice. Hold on. Never mind. Continue. The tweet came in late for me.
Okay. But anyway, this is a tornado warning for parts of Monroe County until 11:30, which does include the Everglades National Park. So again, if you live near the Everglades National Park, you need to be in a safe place. There's a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. This also includes Lane Bay. That's a body of water, I think. The Rogers River Bay, the Big Lossman's Bay.
At least 1 million people visit Everglades each year. So, I'd say if anyone is still in the park, it is a very rural area. But nevertheless, if you are planning on, as we like to call it, camping, you might want to find a safe place. Even a car, well, sort of. Car is not necessarily safer than...
It's a death trap.
That is like a death trap. You can't outrun a tornado if you're surrounded by swamp. Am I right? Because, you know, Miami...
Anyway, this is a tornado warning. And you know our view. Every human life is precious. So even if it's just for 10 people, we'll get those 10 people sheltered, won't we, John?
Definitely. I'm sure their phones are going crazy now.
So,
Odd
This
how
is a tornado.
odd how YouTube has like a section for sharing stuff and not a single one is for Instagram, but there is one that has a really weird name. And it says BKO weird HTA weird KTE, and the second one is O weird A weird H O K a weird N A C C H up backwards N a weird K and another backwards N. What the heck are those things? Let me just click on this one. Oh, the name of this is just OK.
Okay.
The name of this is OK. Oh my god.
We're coming up on 10:45. We have one tornado warning. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings.
Oh, hold on a second. What is this TVS signature on my computer right now? Hold up a second. RadarScope's giving me a TVS too. Possibly a tornado thing. I'm just saying this.
Oh, you're seeing a tornado vortex signature?
Yeah, my friend's saying bro on Discord right now.
I can take a wild guess who that was.
Take a guess.
Was it Lodge?
No. It was someone in a DM.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of this person. His name's JD. You might not.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So once again, we have a Wisconsin.
All right.
We have a Wisconsin-shaped tornado warning. Intriguing. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's shaped like Wisconsin, and we all know it is shaped like Wisconsin. Like, honestly. Think about it for a second. Doesn't this sorta look like Wisconsin? I mean, it's not perfectly like it, but it's close.
If I'd imagination go free. Or
yeah. Oh my gosh. Significant weather advisory for Miami-Dade County. Uh-oh, it's the same one from before. But it actually includes legit every single area that you'd think would include Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Issues tornado warning. Not really, but they're gonna issue a severe thunderstorm warning in about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a long night.
Alright, I'm checking the velocity. It's hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit.
Is it just me or you're from the South in North Carolina, but I'm from Virginia. Think about how far that is away and how our cultures are so different. I mean, I don't eat many biscuits,
One
Yeah.
time, James.
I
One
went
time-
out for dinner today, and guess what my dessert was? A milkshake. Okay, that wasn't a good one, but
One time, James Spann mentioned hair and a biscuit and Brother and
oh my
Charlie
gosh.
curious to know where you're eating biscuits at, because I don't want to go there if you're seeing
I just
hair
want to
and a
announce this, but I posted something on Twitter and I tagged Wendy's saying, please congratulate my friend. And my friend said, heading to Wendy's right now. And Wendy's actually responded saying, congrats. Very proud. Oh my gosh.
You can't be serious. We interrupt our interruption of your interrupting, I think.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I missed this one. Wendy's tweeted this out earlier and it said, Wendy's, what do you think they're doing here? And then they said, picking up their order, and these guys had face masks on getting a dumpster out of a trash can. Hold on. I need to DM you this. This is funny as heck. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I gotta send you this. This is funny.
Okay.
Feel free to take a look at this.
Go Google a moo.
Uh-oh, marine warning just got issued. I can't open this.
Are they extending it or something?
No, they can't extend severe weather warnings.
Okay.
Let me pull this up.
Oh yeah, now I see Miami and Homestead.
Oh gosh! Okay,
Weather
my
advisory.
screen. What, buddies, what do you think they're doing here? Picking up their order. Then look below it. What did McDonald's do to you? Exist. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna send that as an oof.
Okay.
Wait, that didn't send as that sent as a tweet, not a response. Now that's wrong. Retweet with comment. Oof. Retweet. Much better.
All right. On 1050. And that is a...
How can they eat with masks on? That's why they keep the masks on. Maybe the McGrima's back bar face. Lol. They're getting another supply of burger patties. Oof. Gosh. Getting ingredients. Ooh. Is your food as good as your Twitter? I think it's better. I love Wendy's tweets. Oh my gosh. I love this one. This one has over 1 million likes. This is when Wendy's is something really funny. Uh-oh, we have another tornado warning updates. Let's see.
All
It looks like Wisconsin. Let's see here. It looks a lot more like Wisconsin than the previous one. Well, it looks more like a backwards West Virginia now.
right. It looks like Everglades National Park needs to stay sheltered for a few more minutes. All right.
Now this looks like a Wisconsin warning. Because the bottom's a little bit thinner than the top, if you look like it.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. Not really anymore. Oh.
All right.
Let me get some water really quickly.
I was about to say, I think you done sheltered yourself thirsty there, but I'm going to pull up a radar map on my...
Ironically, you're not the first person to say that.
Yeah. At least show you, yeah. Like a little bit of a notch on the reflectivity or some kind of bookend vortex. But anyway, if you're in the Everglades National Park, just give it a few more minutes. Just be in your safe place for another 5 to 10 minutes. It's in effect until 11:30, but I'd imagine it'd be out of that area before 11:30.
They might not.
But
They might cancel it. I don't know if they will, but they might.
Yeah. but places anywhere that anybody that lives near Big Lossman's Bay or Rogers River Bay needs to be in a safe place. Of course, those of you that live near the Everglades National Park needs to be in a safe place. But really, anybody in those severe thunderstorm warning polygons, you need to be in a safe place. Because of 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, that can bring down some trees and some power lines, maybe cause some minor property damage. Anybody in the Keys in the path of this, and anybody in South Florida in the path of this needs to be in a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows, wearing a helmet, bicycle helmet, batting helmet, sports helmet, motorcycle helmet, hard sole shoes, portable airborne. If you know anybody in the path of this, call them and let them know they need to be sheltered. So we have special marine warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings, and that one tornado warning, including the Everglades National Park. Now, if these storms hold together, and there's a decent chance it will, we may see it affect the Miami metro. So, Miami, I would remain vigilant when it comes to this. I know some people are working like third shift now.
I'm just gonna say this, Key West, but issuing a marine warning until bloody midnight for 12 forecast zones is a little bit extreme. Holy crap. Okay, I'm drinking water. Okay. Where even did they make this marine warning for? Oh my gosh, there's so many of them too. Oh, this is huge. Holy crap.
If you're in Miami, point south. I would remain very, very vigilant. Storm, this bookend vortex. If you're in places like Homestead, Florida City, Cutler Bay, Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest, Miami, even as far north as Miami Beach or Sweetwater, I would definitely remain vigilant, just in case you end up being next in line to get these strong straight line winds. And when you get under the warning, you be in a safe place.
They all have tornado possible tags on them, which is never a good thing when you think about it.
Okay.
I think they're gonna give this warning another round on the scanner, and then they're gonna drop the tornado warning. But it's still very brief.
But still, even with the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, you'd be best off in a safe place, because that can knock down some trees, power lines. Because, quite frankly, John, what does it matter if it's a tornado or straight line winds? If a tree falls on your home, it's a super big deal, isn't it?
I actually know someone who had a tree fall on their house. In fact, this summer I was actually in a tornado warning. Now, this is a true story. Recently, they actually had a nice little, previously on 2019's weather phenomenons. This last summer, there was a tornado warning for my county. I was actually in it, although I was in San Francisco at the time. I heard stories. I heard a lot of stories. And here's how it went. Tornado warning got issued. It went just north of my house. Later that day, they confirmed a tornado. I'm not joking. There was a legit tornado warning confirmed. Legit. Very close to my house. An EF0, nevertheless. But it did cause a house to get almost wrecked by trees. Like, there was so much damage. So yeah. Always listen to tornado warnings. Also, Who puts National Weather Service meteorologists detected strong thunderstorms? God dang! Why?
Talking, John. I'll be right back.
Okay. So. Yeah, I'm gonna not. Dang it! It got rid of it. Just do that. Alright, so how can I best explain the weather? Well, I'm gonna take a look at the current situation on weather.gov. You can tell the variety of warnings, from the tornado warnings to the high wind warnings to the flood warnings to the surf advisories, freezing spray, winter storm watches, fire weather watches, and red flag warnings. Variety of the severe weather this week has been very interesting because you got all sorts of weather popping up. Interesting to see. Not interesting, not very easy to talk about, but it's interesting to see. Hard to say that again, but you get the point. Key West issue an AFD once.
Say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain.
Alright, I'm gonna stop streaming right now. I'm just really tired right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope those of you in the area, please stay safe. It's a hard situation, especially this late at night.